Molto bene. Welcome back to Bizzare Podcast Dogs Must Die. My name is Grant. You can call him Chip. And today we are talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Golden Wind, episodes 22 and 23.
You know, after the big events of the last two episodes.
Momentous events.
Momentous, even.
World-shaking.
Yeah. We begin off with episode 22, the G and Guts. Everyone's on that little boat that Narancia, or not Narancia, but everyone was on at the end of the last episode, just kind of going through Venezia, you know.
Let me ask you, what is the G in Guts? Having seen the episode now, what is the G in Guts?
I don't know.
Is it Girga? Is it Narancia Girga, the G in Guts?
I guess. I was also wondering this while watching the episode, trying to remember, like, does that come up? Not really.
No, but like, yeah, they're silently boating down through the canals and discussing next steps, as you have to do. Mm-hmm. And this time, Bruno is the one insisting on caution, as per usual. You know, you cannot run without knowing what's lying in wait for you. Mm-hmm. But this won't last forever, because the babies are hungry.
Oh, yeah. Sex Pistols, hungry, need food.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. They are openly weeping. They are so hungry.
Yeah. I like the final shot before the OP here. It's just Bruno looking at Sex Pistols, just weeping and begging for food and just gently smiling. Like, oh, those kids.
They're good kids. They're going to grow up big and strong. They're going to be mortars one day. So yeah, this is the first episode with the new opening title sequence. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's the most narrative, I guess.
Yeah.
It is essentially a big recap of all the fights so far.
Yeah. Kind of quickly zooming through all those guys and then, you know, seeing the group kind of turning their backs on the boss, save for Fugo, who stays behind.
And then more like hero shots of all of the crew and their stands. Mm-hmm. Including a first look at Trish's stand, who we will not talk about today.
Yep. Safe to say, doesn't look like it has big dinosaur claws like it was previously possibly established to be, but who knows? Who knows what's going on there? And then the final bit of the OP kind of leads to something that has not happened yet, but we basically see a one-on-one fight between Giorno and the boss going at each other.
And a lot of arrow imagery, stand creating arrow business. Yeah. In the final moments especially. What do you think of the song? What do you think of this new song?
It's one that I had to like warm up to, but there's a lot of, because it starts off very kind of like slow and down tempo, which is a change for JoJo theme songs, I think.
Yeah. And then after a few measures of singing, it gets filled in with like a fuller orchestra component. It's very Live and Let Die.
Yes.
The beginning of the song.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. God, I was really trying to think of what that reminded me of. Mm-hmm. There are a couple bits that I didn't notice the first couple viewings of this OP when I was first watching this part of the show that eventually got stuck in my head, which is the best part. Basically all the lyrics are in Japanese except for the part near the end where Giorno's hand raises into the air in defiance holding the arrow and they just say hell no. That part is really stuck in my head.
That part's pretty good. So back in the action, everyone has found a small cafe. We love a little Italian bistro.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting in their patio, which abuts like between the building of the restaurant and the canal where the boat is parked. And there are two things that Sex Pistols love more than anything. Number one, salami. Number two, preventing number 5 from eating salami.
Yep. So they're just, they're chowing down, except for number 5. And Mista and Abacchio are chatting about random things, and they're talking about vegetarians.
Yeah.
Mista cannot fathom what exactly vegetarians do.
When I'm being hunted by the entire mafia and the entire mafia has superpowers, you know what I wonder about? Leather goods.
Yeah, yep. Misa's like, can vegetarians eat cheese? And Bakio's... I love this line from Bakio where it's like, well, no, they can't because milk and eggs come from cows and chickens. Remember? Remember?
There's a really subtle difference in the two translations here, but it means different things in a bigger way than you might expect, because in the subtitles they are talking about vegetarians, and in the dub they are talking about vegans.
Yeah.
And so depending on which label they're talking about, either Abakio is right in the dub or not quite there in the subtitle.
So yeah, they talk about it for a decent length.
Ever. Why?
And it's like, vegetarians can't have cake with cream on it. And Misa's just like, well, what the fuck is the point of being a vegetarian then if you can't eat cake?
And Giorno's just keeping watch, remembering the situation they're in. Good for you. Good for you, Giorno.
Yeah. And Giorno's just like, we got to be careful. They could be anywhere doing anything. They could have poisoned our food. And as he says this, some other guy who's eating at the table behind Narancia gets up, bumps into Narancia, causing a little bit of wine to splash onto this dude's white jacket, which pisses him off. And in a series first, everyone sees another human being that isn't one of them and goes, "That's a stand user," immediately. Immediately.
Well, because anybody who's going to yell at them must be their enemy.
Mm-hmm.
They're so wound up. They're so prepared to launch in a moment's notice that, yes, Narancia accuses this guy of being one of the boss's goons and starts kicking the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Then there's a blink, and Mista is also kicking the shit out of him. As Abakio slowly sips a little bit of red wine and then is also kicking the shit out of him.
Yes, this is a pretty famous moment from part 5 where 3 guys slowly just pile on this dude and kick the ever-living shit out of him. And then they go, wait. This guy isn't a stand user. He passed out simply from being kicked to death. This can't be a stand user. And he's not. He's just a guy.
I guess you really do owe him for dry cleaning, huh, Narancia? Sucks to be you.
Yep. Yeah, he's just passed the hell out because he's just a normal man with no stand powers.
I'm sure it's memorable just for being a good gag, but I think it's also really important to have a moment like this at this point in the story, right? We have this reminder that after everything, that despite what's changed, even as renegades, they are the same crew.
Yeah.
These are the dudes that did the torture dance. This is like a companion scene to the torture dance for me.
Absolutely.
But wouldn't it be nice if there was one more guy kicking the shit out of this dude?
There's a little bit more room.
Doesn't it make you a little sad?
I wish all the Sex Pistols were gently kicking him as well.
He's way bigger than a bullet. They can't do shit. Don't tell me what physics is. F equals MA. That's not numbers. I don't know what that means.
Those are letters. What are you talking about? So yeah, as they realize, oh, this is just a normal guy. After the deed has already been done, they've stopped kicking him. Bruno's just like, hey, stop doing that.
But they're not quite done with him. I love Abakio taking a fork of his food and shoving it down his throat.
Yes.
Like, hey, we can use this normal man to test our food for poison.
Yes. God. And while all that wackiness is happening, Giorno is still in the serious one mode, is looking at Bruno and still thinking about what happened to him in the previous episode where he seemingly died, but then he wasn't dead. But then he could just get his hands skewered with little rocks when he fell down and stuff and not feel it and also not bleed. And he's just like, what the fuck?
Can I give a theory?
Yeah.
Bruno is a zombie.
Okay.
Giorno doesn't know he can make zombies. What happens if you give life to a dead person's body?
Right.
Their ghost gets zapped back in them, and he is a dead man haunted by his own spirit.
Okay. Yeah, while Giorno is thinking about that, it's time for the rest of the group to, start talking about future plans, what the boss can do, like, power-wise.
This is basically Bruno's big pep talk.
Yeah.
We got to find his identity, and we got to get the drop on him. Mm-hmm. And so Bacchio suggests, much like the execution squad was trying to do, why don't we just use Trish? She has a connection. She must know something. Mm-hmm. But Narancia is not down with this.
Yeah.
He's begun to feel very, very protective of her and the way he sees her. And everybody's talking about her until suddenly she's there.
Yeah. She just hops out of that turtle.
The turtle is a very convenient device for only having to draw so many people at a time.
Yeah.
For being able, for having a way for any combination of characters to be available at any given time and you don't have to explain it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very convenient. Yeah, Narancia specifically was worried about Trish realizing that her dad was trying to kill her because, she basically was passed out the entire time that stuff was happening. And yeah, that's when Trish pops out and it's just like, hey, you don't have to like worry about that. I kind of already figured that out. And she also says she remembers her dad saying that he wanted to erase the footsteps of mankind. Or at least that's how it was written in the subs. But yeah, she does have some info about her dad. Her mom once said that she met him in Sardinia.
Back when he was called Old Tough Nose.
Yeah.
I love that nom de guerre that he had back then.
Mm-hmm. That was 15 years ago, so that sounds like a new destination to reach to try and get any info. And then Bruno's just like, hey, we're probably going to kill your dad. Is that okay?
And she says, yeah, I guess so. Because what she cares about, her drive, her motivation is to figure out, is to learn the nature of her father, to discover where she came from. If he has to die in that process.
Yep.
And is some sort of strange permutation of the uncertainty principle. Measuring a man will destroy him. That's fine. If that's what it takes, that's what it takes.
Yeah. And so Bacchio is just looking at Narancia going like, I guess he didn't need to worry about that. She seems a lot tougher than we thought. And Narancia is the only one still sitting at the table at this point, stirring like his soup, whatever type of soup it is he's got. And
he's looking down at his soup. He's just feeling like... He's feeling a little bit like ashamed of himself, of his self-doubt, looking down at his... I don't know. It reminds me of the scene in Taxi Driver where he's looking down at his Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's when he's got soup problems. There's problems. There's problems with his soup. His soup eats the spoon instead of the other way around.
Yep, his spoon is gone. Narancia's not super bright, so he lifts up the soup bowl and looks underneath it. He looks under the table, just like, where did my spoon go? He looks under
his own skirt.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Mm-hmm. And so he just gets up and grabs a spoon from a table no one's at, goes back to his soup, and he barely drags his spoon through the soup, and there's like a big twisted chunk of metal on his spoon.
The remains of the original spoon.
Yeah.
Whoa. And then there's spooky soup music. Whoa.
That's when he notices like the little bit of his first spoon that's in the soup again. It gets eaten by a very small shark.
A soup shark.
And so Narancia gets up, points at the soup and shouts, "There's a shark in the soup!" And that's when everyone starts shooting their guns.
Yes, yeah. Trish is ordered back in the turtle. Get out of here.
Yep. Yeah. Aerosmith comes out, shoots the shit out of that soup. Mista pulls out his guns and starts shooting at the soup. It's just one of those basic JoJo things that I just love, just pointing at soup, go, "There's a shark in the soup," and then shooting it. But he's still holding the spoon. Like, the soup has been obliterated, but he's
hungry.
Yeah.
He wanted to get some salami too, but the stands ate it all.
He's a growing boy and he needs his soup. Soup is good for the bones. So yeah, there's still a bit of soup in his spoon, and suddenly the shark is in there. And it leaps out of the spoon, and
and it tears his tongue off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the shark, the shark grabs his tongue and then falls into the puddle of soup on the ground and then teleports into a bottle that was nearby that had some liquid in it. And as Narancia tries to grab that, the shark just keeps voiping out of existence and appearing in... he's doing short-range teleports, skipping from liquid to liquid.
Yeah. All the water glasses, all the wine glasses, all the spilled bits, anything that's liquid, this shark could just boop into it. And one of my favorite little abilities of this stand, guess what? It's a stand. I bet you couldn't have known. But is that whenever it teleports somewhere, it scales to the liquid that it's in?
Yep.
So its size is dependent on its container, much like a thing they say about really old goldfish, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, when it's in the spoon, it's itty bitty teeny tiny. When it's in the soup bowl, it's a little bigger. Mm-hmm. Eventually, we will see it in the canal, and it's like the size of a fucking shark.
Yeah. And so Mista is just going like, hey, holy shit, Narancia doesn't have a tongue anymore. Narancia is like having difficulty breathing and stuff, and Giorno says, I can make a tongue, but it's going to take a little bit. In the meanwhile, Mista, do you have a pen? Takes the pen and jabs it into Narancia's throat, and then pulls like the top of it off so that it's like a breathing tube for him. And also the pen is giving him life energy. It's a special life energy pen. He
does a ballpoint pen emergency tracheotomy, and so like... You've seen this happen in plenty of things, or be referenced in plenty of things, but I was curious where in the timeline of this being like a thing does JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fall, especially the manga publication of this part, and fairly early, actually.
Really?
At least according to the examples compiled on tvtropes.com. Thank you very much.
Okay.
But like not the originator, if anything is, aside from, medical practice, I guess it would probably be MASH. But like this being published in like the original manga telling of the story really predated so many things that you probably associate with it, which came from like the mid to late 2000s explosion of like cop shows and medical dramas, right? So there you go. JoJo's early wave,
that's
perhaps.
Cool. Oh.
So now Narancia is no longer drowning in his own tongue blood. That's cool. And he's bought time for like whatever random trash becomes his new tongue. To like join and suture together. Good job, Giorno. You're a weird creep. But anyway, this is the third fight that proves these boys need some sort of hand signal worked out.
Yes. They need to work on communication. They need to go to a weekend retreat where they just work on that.
Imagine how much shorter, and thankfully shorter, the babyface fight would have been if Narancia understood Giorno's hand signals.
Yeah. They all need like a little horn, just like a burp, burp. And that's only used if a stand is nearby and you can't speak for some reason.
I mean, they know a stand is nearby. Everybody knows a stand is nearby. Yeah. But Narancia was unable to communicate. He's in that glass. He's in that glass. He's in that. At one point, Mista thought he was pointing at the glasses because he was real thirsty.
Yeah.
These boys need help.
What's that, boy? You want water?
They're talking to him like he's Lassie, but he's a guy. He's one of you.
He's a boy. Listen to the boy.
So while he recuperates, the camera pulls back to the rooftops, and we see two new guys.
Two whole new guys
who are just talking about, oh yeah, the boss was right. That blonde kid, he's the one we really got to worry about. Kill the healer first, I guess, is their strategy.
Yep.
And one of them calls Giorno the cannoli-haired deadbeat newcomer.
I enjoy all the extra Italian shit they sprinkle in the dialogue in the English dub. I like it a lot.
Do you think that's why his hair swirlies are... You think they're supposed to be cannoli?
Oh, man. Maybe. Is there cheese in there? Is there cheese in those hair curls? Is that how they stay together?
He would. He fucking would.
Yeah.
And then Sex Pistols can get a snack.
It never happens in all of Part 5, but the whole time I was watching it my first time, I was desperately waiting for like a late show reveal where Giorno and does like a desperate final move to like save his ass in a fight or something, and it's just he's got stuff hidden in the hair curls. I was waiting him to do the Mista like dip your head down as stuff falls out of your head move, but it never happens. You never know what's in those.
I want him to get caught in like a heavy rainstorm, and so all of his like hair falls out of how it's styled, and just to like see the raw length of it in what spots. How do you, like, architecturally, I gotta see your foundation here.
Yeah, so I meant to bring this up like the last 2 episodes, but there is a YouTube account called Satoken's Hair Labo, which is this Japanese hairstylist who also makes like cosplay wigs by commission. And he has a lot of videos showing how he makes them, and he is extremely good at making anime hair not look goofy in real life. And he has multiple videos of doing JoJo hair, including a wig of Giorno's hair. And yeah, it is a lot of hair to make that hairdo work. It is a lot of hair. He also does one where he makes Polnareff's hair, which is a lot of fun because I kept waiting for him to pull out a tiny lawnmower to make it so flat on top. The video's like 10 minutes at like 10 times fast forward speed. So Giorno's taking a lot of time every time he's got to get this hairdo going.
Well, the stand does it for him.
Oh, sure, yeah. Life energy.
Yeah. It just grows that way.
Yep.
So anyway, this baby shark, its name Clash, for of course the Clash. I already said back when Sex Pistols was introduced, I'm a Clash man. I'm happy to see him. I wish he wasn't a dumb little shark. I wish it was a cooler one.
Yeah, so this shark, by the way, is like a metal shark. He's got like rivets all over his fins.
Yeah.
And he's got 2 little beady like red eyes, and like in the middle he's got like this gold, I don't know if it's an eye or what. It looks like a centerpiece to a Gundam's head a little bit to me. But in that, he's just kind of a shark. Just kind of a normal shark.
But these 2 guys, who've not yet introduced themselves, are very, shall we say, comfortable with one another.
Oh yeah, they're boyfriends.
They are. Again, so implied, you think they say it, but they don't actually say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing JoJo poses where their limbs are intertwined with each other all the time, and yeah.
Yeah, hey bro, let me just rest my chin on your head, bro. Let me reach over your lap. Let me extend my body behind you, brah.
Yep.
Just twist out your elbow real sassy like, bro, Sev. Come on, brah.
Straight! They're confident they can take all these guys out, but they're going to have to cooperate to pull it off.
Yes. Which is what they do because they are the boss's elite personal bodyguard. Their names are Squalo and Tiziano. Squalo is the stand user of Clash, and Tiziano, we have not yet seen his stand. Squalo, of course, means shark in Italian.
Yeah.
Very direct. You want to guess what Tiziano is named for? An Italian painter named Tiziano.
Okay, yeah.
He's not even a food.
His stand better be an Italian painter then, right?
So their plan that they're going over with one another is just lure each member of the group one by one into the water to be torn to shreds by a magic shark.
Eureka!
It seems like a good plan, if it works at least.
Yeah.
And their vibe, I guess I'm just going to talk about James Bond a lot today because they feel very like Mr. Wint and Mr. Kidd to me. Very Diamonds Are Forever henchmen. Should we talk about what these guys look like?
Yeah, let's talk about what they look like. One of them, Squalo, I believe, has orange hair.
Yes.
Got a blue headband on, and he almost is doing Cloud Strife cosplay because he's got like a sleeveless turtleneck style thing on, and he's got like these steel shoulder guards on that remind me of Cloud.
Yeah, he's wearing a full body, except for the arms, a jumpsuit with pinstripes, because of course he is.
Yep.
Yeah, big riveted pauldrons. While Tiziano is, what's the name of that like fashion trend with like super heavy spray tan and bleach blonde hair? He's doing that.
Oh, yeah. Wow, why can I not remember what that is called? But yeah, that. Pretty standard clothing otherwise, though.
Yeah, he's wearing people clothes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also a jumpsuit. But, you know, fashion has caught up to Tiziano, I think, actually, is what happened.
Yeah. Like, if I were more in shape, I would wear what he's wearing.
But it's sort of a pale beige or a cream color. And he's just chilling. He's a cool guy. Long, straight hair. He is the brains of the outfit. The voice of reason and whatnot. And then we hit our mid-episode title card of Clash. Hello, Clash.
Hello. By the way, that fashion trend was Ganguro.
Thank you.
That's what it is. I knew it started with a G.
Or, I mean, at least that's what the colorist of the anime decided he is.
Yeah.
Actor notes for these two. Squalo, his English voice you may hear as John Watson in Moriarty the Patriot.
Oh, okay.
While his Japanese voice is Neutrophil in Cells at Work.
Okay.
And dubbed both Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and Alden Ehrenreich's Han Solo.
Oh, man. I love learning about the Japanese dub voice actors for, like, big-time Western celebrities. I don't know why that's so interesting to me, but is it, like, a big deal to be, like, the dub actor for Tom Cruise over there? Is it just another job? I don't know.
I have to imagine it's at least regular work.
Yeah.
Right? And from everything I know about, like, professional actors, they don't really care if it's good work. They care if it's regular and it's like a legitimate enough enterprise that you get paid on time.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like every time a show that has been like running for 8 years or whatever finally gets canceled, and it's a show that doesn't have a very good reputation for whatever reason, people are like, oh, finally, this actor who I love, who is in like TV jail for all these years, they must feel so good. They're going to have the time and freedom. No, they just got fired. They don't feel good.
Yeah.
They liked being there, probably. They made friends. They had fun. They had a fucking job for 8 years.
Yeah.
But where was I? Oh, right. I was talking about Tiziano. Tiziano, the Italian painter, was like foundational to the Venice School of Renaissance painting. Congratulations. We're all very proud of him. His English voice is Jin Wong in Astral Chain.
Okay. Cool.
So all of you platinum heads out there might recognize him.
Speaking of Astral Chain, that game is basically platinum going, what if we made JoJo stands into a character action mechanic? And it works pretty okay. Anyways.
While his Japanese voice is, drumroll please, Seto fucking Kaiba.
Oh my god.
Yes!
Oh,
yes!
man.
So
great.
who are some of the Hollywood actors that he is the dub for? How about Colin Farrell? How about the character of Kylo Ren? Shares a voice with Kaiba of Kaiba Corp.
Oh, dude. That
of
rules.
course, from the 50 Shades of Grey franchise, Christian Grey himself.
Oh my god.
Kaiba wears Dom jeans. Once you sign his BDSM contract, he reveals his trap card.
Pot of Greed? What? You made that a trap card? Okay. That's a very funny intersection of characters. I love that.
They need to get the English Kaiba in JoJo's, I swear.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
That guy is still doing work. There's a Yu-Gi-Oh movie every couple years where Seto Kaiba has to go to space or transcend reality so he can do another card battle with Yami Yugi.
Whatever it takes, man.
Whatever it takes. I will find my card-playing boyfriend.
So yeah, Narancia is coming around. His new tongue is working again. He's got his pen out of his throat. And he's confusing all the boys by describing the enemy stand as the size of a small boulder, the size of a large boulder.
Yeah. He's like a giant boulder, and he escaped through the back of the store, and everyone's just like, what? You said he was in the soup. And the Ranch is confused, like, oh, did I just say that? And Mista is going like, okay, let's really clarify this. And he puts his hands, a couple inches apart and is like, was the enemy about this big? And he stretches his arms out wider, or this big? And Narancia is just saying like, yes, no. And like, he's shaking his head, like getting confused why he's saying the opposite of what he wants to say.
he seems to be under the effect of some sort of confusion stand, and everybody's just getting really fed up with him. Like, what do you mean this thing is slow as molasses? How did nobody else see it? That, oh, Narancia, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. Yeah, and Misa's just like, okay, you're bullshitting us. You didn't see any stand, did you? Or whatever. And Narancia's like, no, yep, I totally saw a stand. And then he just starts convulsing and freaking out because he can't say what he wants to say.
So you know how we've said that, like, in every Part 5 episode, there's one moment of, like, really exaggerated, exhilarating fight choreography animation.
Yeah.
In this case, it's just Narancia being so distraught at being unable to communicate properly.
Yes.
He tries to snap his own spine the way he's convulsing.
Yeah, it's wild looking.
He's caught in some sort of severe reverse liar. He's caught in a truth where he can only tell lies.
Mm-hmm. And so there's a part where, like, Giorno's just like, okay, there's something weird going on here. We got to get away from this area. Let's get on that boat in the water. And Narancia's thinking, like, uh-oh, no, that's uh-oh. And he tries to, like, warn them about that. And
instead he tells them it's a great plan. They should absolutely all go in the water right now.
Yeah. And then, like, Narancia, distracts everyone for a second and, like, runs in front of a table doing some weird body language. Everyone's just like, what's up? And that's when Narancia sees a shark-sized shark fin shoot out of the water near the boat. And he's like, the enemy's right there. And he points towards the water. And then his arm just snaps and points towards the inside of the restaurant instead. And he starts, like, shedding tears. He's so frustrated he can't say what he wants to say. And during that moment, when tears start streaming down his face, the shark teleports from the water into his tears.
Yeah. Aww. So Bruno Bucciarati, of course, sees this as an opportunity. Of course he does. He always does. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're just going to take out the guys who are able to scramble to find them quick enough. And once they're gone, it'll be smooth sailing to Sardinia.
Yeah. And so now that the shark is in Narancia's tears, we go back to Squalo and the other guy. You finally get to learn about the other enemy stand here, which is localized to Talking Mouth.
Yeah. It is, of course, called Talking Head, named for the band Talking Heads. The best case scenario of a bunch of guys in art school who are like, we can play instruments probably.
Yeah.
It worked once. Stop trying it. So yeah, this is a little tentacle blob imp that lives in your mouth and got put there by Clash. And it makes its victim, in this case Narancia, stop making sense. I get it.
Yep. And so yeah, you get a little shot of Talking Head in Narancia's mouth, and he's just a little guy. He's just basically a head with some tentacles that kind of just stick to your tongue, and ugh. But yeah, Abacchio is going to the bathroom where Narancia was forced to point at, and using Moody Blues to transform into whoever was just here in the bathroom, so they can figure out where the enemy is or where they've gone. This is when Narancia runs into the bathroom and tries to make another distraction here, and he's trying to force them away from any sources of water. So he's trying to really twist all these faucets around on the sinks so no water drips out of them.
And any, like, residual water in the sinks or on the floors, he's sopping up with paper towels because, like, before rushing in, he, like, had a little bit of a moment to himself to focus and to, like, commit to finding his own determinazione.
Yeah. And when he's, like, twisting all the knobs on the sinks, his tongue acts against him. Yeah. It stretches out like a lizard, like a iguana tongue or something. It just grabs one of the faucets and twists it on.
So everybody, so the plan, everybody who's not currently being attacked by a stand at least has the plan to, like, use Moody Blues to track this stand, become the stand and follow it where it's gone along its path, figure out what's up. Because, interviewing the one witness ain't working.
Yeah.
But Narancia needs them to be out of the bathroom, one of the wettest places in a building.
Yeah.
So he has a plan.
Yep.
He has a plan to get everybody out of the pool, so to speak. He rushes in front of Abacchio, slams open the door to the single stall in here, and starts peeing, which, as we know, is part of the group's dynamic.
Yeah.
But he's really overdoing it. He's egging him on a little bit too much, and I'm wondering how much this is what he means to say and how much is talking heads.
Yeah.
Talking headed. Especially, quote, "Get over here, Abacchio. I got a present for you. Check out the bowl for the surprise inside."
Yeah. Oh my God. So yeah, he's just pissing in front of everybody. And Abacchio's, "Are you like a fucking pervert? When did that happen?" And so everyone...
He's just trying to induct Trish into the group. Bring the teacup.
Yeah. And so everyone, like, Bruno's just like, "You know what? We should probably go back to the table outside and try to track the guy from there instead." And everyone's just like, "Yeah, great idea." And so they all leave.
It's much less gross out there.
Yeah. There's less piss outside.
So I guess his best plan so far is to make himself tell lies so distasteful that even these nasty boys are chased away.
Yeah. So everyone's starting to leave the bathroom, and Giorno is the last to start walking out. As Narancia, like, has his hands over his mouth, trying to keep him from saying more bullshit, his super long prehensile tongue that he now has goes in between his fingers, comes out, extends all the way down to his pants, and grabs a pocket knife.
The famous Narancia switchblade, and he slices his own hands open with it. Like he cuts his palms and one of his fingers, and so blood is pouring out of him, blood that a shark can swim in. Oh, they love that stuff.
They love it. And so Giorno notices that and goes like, "Oh, you're bleeding. I can fix that." And, Narancia's really doesn't want Giorno to get any closer, but all he can say is, "Yes, please fix me. Please heal me."
And this is what I think really cues Giorno in that something's wrong. Narancia is saying please and thank you. They're nasty boys. Something's wrong.
They never say that.
But Narancia can't risk it. He can't let Giorno get even a step closer to his knife tongue and the shark living in the puddle of blood. So he summons Lil Bomber to fire at like a handrail pipe on the wall to superheat the metal, not to destroy the pipe, but to like all the repeated impact will get it all hot and steamy so that he can cauterize his hand wounds and stop the bleeding.
Yep.
So that there's nothing that Giorno can do to help him more. Now Giorno really knows something's up, because that's a weird ass thing to do.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that pipe wasn't a handrail. It was also a pipe that does water and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So there's now big water all over the floor, and Clash jumps out of it and tears Giorno's throat out.
Yep. He gets fucked up. And like right before he gets his throat torn out, he's like, "Oh, is there a stand attacking you that makes you say the opposite of what you want to say?" Ah! Fucking bitten on the throat by a shark, and that's the cliffhanger.
That's the cliffhanger into our third ending and second ending song. Because the first two shared Freaking You, of course.
Yep.
Second one did not last very long.
No.
So this song is called Modern Crusaders by Enigma. Remember Enigma, the swirly purple guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And from now on, I feel no compulsion to stop comparing this to part 3 if they're just going to call them the Modern Crusaders.
Yep.
Come on. But this is visually pretty similar to the first two in that it is a slow, still pan over stand imagery. But now it's a tower beginning with a bunch of enemy stands that we fought so far, going roughly chronological order as we go up this ancient column.
Yeah.
And then at the top of the column is all of the Passione boys stands together, and King Crimson among them.
Mm-hmm. And King Crimson looks like he's having a good time in the sculpture for some reason. He looks pretty happy. But yeah, it ends with Gold Experience on the top, looking very holy. looks like a religious figure of some sort at the top.
So that brings us to Episodio 23, Clash and Talking Head. With a brief recap, of course, ending with, Narancia burning himself to stop his bleeding. And then Lil Bomber fires at the shark attached to Giorno. But the shark can teleport and bring along anything it's biting. Mm-hmm. So Giorno is also zapping around the room from puddle to puddle, water to water.
Yeah. How far away is this bathroom? Because none of the boys have rushed in immediately because they heard gunfire.
That's just what it sounds like when Narancia pees.
Oh, sure, yeah. It comes out like bullets.
I cannot tell you why, and I don't want to think about it anymore.
And so, yeah, we got both bad guys outside talking about how, okay, just teleport Giorno far away. We'll get him away and just, fucking end his life quickly, and then it'll be way easier to take everyone else out because they won't have a healer.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But Tiziano has to remind Squalo, hey, by the way, don't forget, Narancia is a CO2 detector. So he will be able to find whoever he's looking for if we don't keep that in mind.
Yeah.
He says this while sensually stroking Squalo's chest, by the way.
Very fluidly animated, too. An inch or two away from each other's face. Gazing deeply into each other's eyes. But,
they're such good friends, these two.
Yeah. But that leads us to the OP. And then back out. Narancia, trying to figure out how to keep Giorno from being teleported away. And Giorno is just still alive, but he's got a shark fangs deep into his neck. And he's just like, oh, fuck, there's 2 stands, aren't there? Uh-oh. And then he sinks into the water and disappears.
Yeah. So Narancia's plan is to just anticipate the timing, right? Watch the shark enough to be able to guess when and where it will pop up next. And he's getting closer and closer, and eventually has a clear, wide open shot, or at least he thinks he does. But when he takes it, Clash chews deep and tunnels through Giorno's throat.
Yeah.
And Giorno is riddled with friendly fire.
But right in the chest too. Damn. And this time when Giorno sinks back into the water, he's just gone. He's not appearing anywhere up on the CO2 monitor. And we go back to the villains again, and Squalo's just saying okay, I just stopped Giorno from breathing, and I'm just going to dump him. We're just going to the sewers.
So that's the plan, while Tiziano is keeping tabs on the situation, I guess by listening through Talking Head. Which is why he can hear all this stuff from much farther away than all the other squad boys.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was while watching this episode or getting ahead of things for next week, but I realized that sound in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure works on manga rules, by which I mean, if you're not in the frame with the speech bubble or with the sound effect, you don't hear it.
Yeah, yep.
Panel borders are soundproof.
Yes.
And they did not change any of the effects of that in the adaptation.
The anime's very faithful, even to the dumb things. But Tiziano starts getting worried because he's just oh shit, Narancia just said something that I didn't notice at first, but it's concerning. He should only be able to say the opposite of what he wants, but he just said Giorno got away. Uh-oh.
That means Giorno didn't get away. That means he knows where he is, and he didn't stop breathing.
Yeah.
So you see, Giorno and Narancia have been working together. It might not look like it. It might look like one of them just took a salvo of flak to the chest.
Yeah.
But this is actually helpful. You see, Giorno got shot on purpose so that the smoking holes in his body could be followed by a Lil Bomber's radar.
Yes.
And Narancia has been trying to lie, doing a weird double bluff to sort of lead these two on.
And so now that Narancia has been able to track Giorno with the bullets, Lil Bomber appears in the sewer and just starts firing shots at Giorno's throat, hitting the shark, which causes Squalo to explode into blood.
Oh yeah. Just huge jets,
out of his arm.
Blood squirting out of him like silly string.
Yeah.
Long, thin jets. So meanwhile, our other three heroes are still doing their investigation. And they are looking at Moody Blues squished all up into a very strange and uncomfortable looking shape inside a drinking glass.
Yeah, he's like halfway into morphing into the shark, but that's about as far as it goes.
You know those Red Dead Redemption glitches?
Yeah.
Where people models would get put on animal skeletons and do like their animations?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like that, but grodier.
Yeah. While they're doing that, Narancia's trying to follow where Giorno has gone because after
7 feet away through an open door.
Because after the shark got shot, it teleported away again. And this time, the shark, along with Giorno, has teleported into a fish tank in the restaurant.
Yes.
And you can see like 2 other customers, 2 women, just hiding in the corner, terrified.
Waiter, there's a blonde in my fish tank. What do you mean it's your fish tank? I bought the restaurant, waiter. You work for me.
So yeah, the villains are just now realizing that, oh man, they're doing the new JoJo's trick, which is to get shot on purpose because it's good, actually.
Yeah. It's a subset of JoJo's trick. Yeah, so practice makes perfect, basically, is what we're learning here, as Narancia presses his advantage and is just shooting this fish all over town.
Yep.
Clash keeps trying to escape away to the kitchen. Please do not cook Giorno. He is not a spaghetti.
Yeah.
But he gets shot enough times on the way into perhaps the second wettest part of this building. The Squalo has another just silly string jet of blood come straight out of his chest.
Yeah. And then Squalo goes, this is going according to plan. Because he's been teleporting all around different liquids in the kitchen. And through all the destruction from Aerosmith shooting a bunch of stuff, there is now like stoves on and a bunch of other shit that's letting CO2 out.
But the real trick is all of the water that's been spilling out, you know, by shooting the huge cooking pots of all the pasta, is that has doused the flames of the gas stove, but the gas is still running. This kitchen is now filling with gas, and if you want to shoot your stand guns, it's going to explode, which might kill you, but the explosion will certainly blind you.
Yep. And so Narancia goes in for an attack without bullets, which is pretty rad. He just flies Aerosmith towards the shark and just shreds it up with his propeller.
We've learned some valuable things. If you pass out from getting your head kicked in by 3 powerful men at the same time, you are not a stand user.
Yep. Because
if you are a stand user, you are tough enough to survive a gas main exploding, and everyone knows that won't take you out.
Yeah.
What on earth?
Oh, man. This is when the rest of the gang notices, hey, there's a fight happening nearby.
Yeah, the restaurant we're eating at exploded. I think something's happening.
Yeah, it's because Mista runs in, sees the shark, and fires off a shot before Narancia can do anything, and yeah, the kitchen just fucking explodes.
I mean, Narancia, of course, tries to tell him not to take a shot, but that means what comes out of his mouth is, hell yeah, shoot him. Shoot him right now with your explosion gun.
Mm-hmm.
I do like Narancia's line, but before the dive bomb physical propeller attack, there are plenty of ways to fillet a homicidal fish, and you know what? He's right. He's right.
Yep.
There is something here that I thought was the case, but it's not, and I really wish it was. Back up on the rooftops, Tiziano is talking to Squalo and complimenting him for a fight well fought. Everything's according to plan. Everybody's confused and mistrustful. Aerosmith's tracking is useless. And he compliments him in a very, passive-aggressive manner. Surely the boss will reward us and be proud of you, in a tone of voice that's like, you kidding? You lying? What? And what I wanted the case to be was that Talking Head had reverted into his mouth.
Yeah.
And all these nice things he's saying, he's like, you fucking suck. I hate you so much, you useless boyfriend.
Yeah.
That would have been fun, but it's not the case.
Yeah.
It would be a fun idea for a stand, though, right? Like, its power is always on, and if it's not being used on an enemy, it's being used on you yourself.
Yeah,
like, what if Tiziano lived his life 90% of the time unable to tell the truth?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of a cool, fucked up character dynamic would that be?
Yeah, that's a cool idea. I like that. So yeah, after the kitchen explodes, everyone survives, but they're just kind of like disoriented and on the ground, and Narancia's trying to warn them of the shark, but he could only say the opposite, of course. And so everyone's getting bitten by sharks. And Narancia goes, "This fucking sucks. I can't do shit here." And that's when he remembers right before Giorno got teleported away again. Giorno was saying, "Don't go after the stand, go after the users." So this is when Narancia decides, okay, I'm going to ditch everybody, just run off outside and see if I can find these two dudes and just shoot them to death.
All I gotta do is find the guy breathing real hard because he got shot 5 times.
Yeah.
I got this. Let's go.
Yep.
This episode's mid-title card is Talking Head. Hello. So back in the action, the enemy pair do spot Narancia, and they do confirm that Giorno is being dragged through poo water.
Yeah.
So Squallow's terrified that, like, oh no, he's hunting me, he's gonna come for me, he's gonna find me, and Tiziana's like, dude, calm down, it's gonna be fine, you're just gonna blend in, there's no way he can spot you. He is wearing iron pauldrons. What is wrong with you?
That's the real thing they should be looking out for. Just find anybody wearing non-standard fashion and just kill them.
That's why Narancia was so sure this dude, like, talking about his, like, 4 million lira suit was a stand. He's like, it's not weird, but it is fashion. I think you're my enemy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tiziana's still like, bro, just chill, just calm down. Everybody breathes heavy these days. If you look at the people down there, there's a lot of, I don't know, some people playing ball. They're exercising a lot. You know, some people have been out in the sun all day. Maybe some of them got shot 5 times too. You know, it's fine. It's fine. You just got to calm down. And so begins the biggest, deadliest game of Marco Polo in all time.
Yeah. So yeah, eventually they're like trying to hobble away through this very heavily populated street.
Lots of people in the square.
Yeah.
It's early Diamond is Unbreakable Mario, not late Mario.
Yeah. And Narancia's having a bit of trouble at first, but eventually he finds on his radar he spots some people who are very heavily breathing. Narancia goes, "Aha, the one who suddenly is like breathing deeply. When you saw me cut my tongue off with my own knife."
Well, he finds some people and he's muttering to himself about like, I got you. Right. I found you. Again, we have to enter into like dissecting the, this stand user always tells the truth. This stand user always lies, like logic puzzle of it. Like, did he find us, or is he just tricking my stand to like make us think he found us, or is he honestly muttering to himself that he didn't find us? Well, how does this change anything? And then Narancia joins the big boy club. Honestly, he does the true Passione gambit, which is whipping out his switchblade again, putting it in his mouth, and slicing his second tongue of the day off.
Yeah.
And while they are trying to figure out, like, again, the logic puzzle of his truth/lies are like, everything he's saying is real. That's my stand. He mutilated himself to get rid of my stand. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Speaking of all reliable tricks, Giorno left behind one of his ladybugs.
Yep. Back in the kitchen, he left a ladybug.
We get a flashback to that unseen ladybug, which is now in Narancia's hand, which is now in Narancia's mouth. It is now in Narancia's tongue as it like grows and assimilates into his mouth.
Yeah.
Because he has to monologue. He has to monologue about how, like, for a moment I thought I was going to lose you, so I had to do something desperate. And the guy who let out the giant gasp when I cut the stand out of my mouth, that's who I was looking for the whole time. I think a lot of people would have let out a big gasp.
Yeah. Should mention that now at this point, like the crowd is still in the shots, but they've turned into like the Part 4 style crowd where they're just kind of a silhouette with a gradient on them.
Yeah. We specifically pointed that out in the Spake Rohan OVA. But instead of like, I don't know, polished steel gradient, they also have a red tint to their sheen.
Yeah.
These are false people. These are props. They do not care that a man has sliced his own tongue out, at least not in this moment. So yeah, they are having like sort of a 2-on-1 showdown in the square with all these people fringing the edges around them. And Narancia shouts, "Don't pretend you didn't hear me, you long-haired punk rock reject." So he dramatically throws the knife away. He throws it like a boomerang. It's just whoop, 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 whoop. Perhaps kills an innocent bystander.
Who knows?
Wouldn't be the first time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
As he summons Lil Bomber to end the day, charging forward at Squalo to destroy Clash to free Giorno. But wouldn't you know it, Tiziano dives in front, takes one for the team in order to protect his boyfriend and also splash his own blood all around the place for Clash to use. It's an assist.
Yeah. Again, blood is such a useful tool in Part 5.
Yeah. Like, this isn't even like oh, I see what you're doing. He sort of says it out loud. Like, he presents his spilling of blood as a gift because he's such a fan of Frank Herbert's oeuvre.
And so, yeah, Tiziano dies in Squallow's arms after saying, my blood is a gift for you to finish the job. And so
he assures Squallow of his victory with his like final words.
Yeah. Yeah, this allows Squallow to send his stand right onto Narancia's shoulder, basically, where blood has splashed, and it immediately starts burrowing into his neck.
Yeah, he has a little moment to hype himself up. Like, yeah, I'm not going to kill you because it's the boss's orders. It's because I am powered by rage now. Whoa! But you think, a shark burrowing through your neck, trying to chew your entire fucking head off would be scary or something. But no. What's that? That's the JoJo's Trick music.
Oh, shit.
So the big themes are it's not like a mist that's disguising the actual attack. It's just Narancia really displaying for the first time his determination, the G in guts. Here it is, baby. Because he's like, okay, I bet I can kill you before your stand bites my fucking head off.
So he's just got this stern look, like he's taken on this powerful pose of like, this isn't affecting me at all, while there is a shark like 12 inches deep into his body now with its tail just flailing around and blood is just squirting everywhere.
So he summons Aerosmith one more time and it slams into Squallow's gut, lifting him high, like 40, 50 feet above the square, while Narancia does his own battle cry. It's not a Muda, it's not an Aura, it's Vola, Vola, etc., which means fly. And so as Squallow is flown into the sky and then filled full of lead, explodes. He's fucked up 8 different ways. Narancia like turns away and just says "Volare via," which is badass shit.
Yeah, it kicks a lot of ass.
Like it's translated on screen as "go flying," I think, but it also means like fly away. You can make it say a lot of things.
Yeah.
After the second dead body falls, this one, again, from the fucking sky, now the people in the square react.
Yes.
They don't like this
again,
very
this
much.
Is all turn-based. It's the audience.
It's all very frightening.
Yeah. Narancia does his cool-ass thing where he sticks his arms out as a runway for Aerosmith to land again. Yeah, and this is when everyone is just freaking the fuck out. What the fuck happened? 2 guys just exploded. And there's a boy bleeding profusely from his neck.
And there's also a second boy bleeding profusely from his neck because with the elimination of Squalo means the death of Clash, and Giorno has one last teleport right into the square nearby. And wouldn't you know it, after a moment's apprehension, there is a little bit of breath where he is on the radar. He's breathing. He's going to be okay.
Narancia kind of lifts Giorno up just a little bit by the head, cradling him, just check he's okay. And it's just like, let's just go. Let's go. Let's leave.
And he thinks to himself, Giorno, you've become our leader. Is everyone going to have one of these moments? Is this the new cycle? We've had everybody meets, and now everybody is driven to be their best self by Giorno's assistance.
Yeah. So we fade to black, and when we come back, everyone's on the boat, and Bruno cradling the turtle in his arms with Trish in it. Their next plan is they have to get a plane somehow so that they can fly to Sardinia.
Yes. I think it's Bruno that says this. It's safe to say Venezia is free of hitmen from the Familia. It's not safe to say that. It's absolutely... it's Risotto is out there. You know this.
Yeah, it's literally never safe to say that.
Why would you think it's safe to say that? Like, the reasoning is we've been fighting for 5 to 8 minutes. And that would be enough time for any hitmen to find us and descend on us.
Yeah.
And so they didn't. So there aren't any. You fool! You utter moron! Deranged reasoning.
There's just going to be another guy in your next lunch. It'll be a stand that looks like food, and he kills you in your digestive tract or something. I don't know.
Evil Tonio.
Yes, Evil Tonio.
I can't imagine an evil Tonio. Oh, what would such a thing be?
Yeah. But yeah, that is the end of episode 24 and of the 2 episodes we're covering today. I like this fight.
What I appreciate about this fight is how much of it is character driven. Team-ups are always great. Like having our boys technically outnumbered, like Gold Experience does very little.
Yeah.
Giorno does a lot, but Gold Experience does very little in this fight. Same with all the other stands sitting around. Moody Blues curls up into a water glass and looks dead.
Yeah.
So essentially, like, Narancia is outnumbered even though he's with the bigger crew, which, you know, there's like tension and excitement there, but also really building that what I said from the beginning. It's very flattering to be proven right by this. Giorno's place is as a facilitator, is to make these people better than they were.
Yeah.
Not only through his abilities, which did come in the clutch for sure.
Oh yeah.
But through his perspective and his guidance.
He's just such a great role model. But yeah, this is probably the most consistent thing with Giorno's character, and is also my favorite aspect of him. Compared to other JoJos, he's at least up to this point, he's not nearly as much of a driving force in the fights as like being the main guy who's beating everybody up. But he's just really good support. He's giving so many buffs to people. And now that Narancia has dramatically torn his own tongue out, he also stabbed himself in the face earlier. Yeah.
In a quick moment to like grab people's attention and get them to focus on him in the very beginning of the fight when he was still like drowning in his own blood. It's part of why he was drowning in his own blood, I think. But that he has done that move, that he has risen to that level along with the rest of them. I mean, Don't forget, Abacchio sliced his own hand off to get that key to Giorno for all the good it did him. But and I think this is something else that sets Fugo apart, that really makes it make more sense that Fugo isn't with them on this, because I can't see Fugo pulling that move.
No, yeah.
I cannot see him chopping his own goddamn arm off.
You know, Fugo didn't get a ton of character moments compared to everybody else when he was present, but yeah, he was definitely, I don't know if he was more the voice of reason, but he was definitely more of the naysayer of the group at times. Yeah, you just can't imagine him having a moment where he's just like, okay, time to punch my jaw off for combat reasons or or anything like that.
Yeah, he's not going to take the big swings, the big risks. He's going to be like, no, it's better for me to have both my hands in case I need a second hand set in a minute.
Yeah.
And that's the exact reasoning that kept him on the shore. Like, no, I don't want the whole ass mafia hunting me. You guys are insane.
Mm-hmm. There's actually, by the way, an entire novel written that's just entirely about Fugo. It's just more all the character stuff done with Fugo that doesn't happen in the manga. Which, by the way, Fugo, there's apparently originally a plan Araki had for Fugo that he ditched, where Fugo was supposed to be a traitor within the group. He was supposed to be a guy secretly working for the boss and keeping tabs on the group. Eventually, he was just like, you know what? I don't want Fugo to be secretly a bad guy, and so he just had him leave the group instead, I believe.
Yeah, I wouldn't want any of these boys to be traitors. Having one that's just not it the same way that the rest are, I like that. That's fun, and I mean, it leads to that moment. The whole scene with the boat would not have been anywhere near as impactful if everybody got on the boat or nobody but Giorno and Bruno got on the boat.
Yeah, totally.
Those two are the worst outcomes. You need to have the group break in a more real way than that.
Yeah, totally. You know, upon rewatching part 5, especially with the English dub, I'm liking it a lot more than my first time around. There's still issues I will have with later parts, but I don't know. I feel like there's more character stuff than I remember there being. I remember that being one of my criticisms, where it just I felt like it didn't jive with the gang of part 5 nearly as much as the other parts. And I like them a lot more this time. Maybe the English stuff really is helping there.
I guess part of it is you are looking at the other 2/3 of the screen a lot more.
yeah, for sure.
Dubs are good for that. Frankly, it's just plain facts.
Yep.
I mean, bad dubs are bad anyway. No one is arguing that a dub is always superior.
Yeah.
Obviously. But, I mean, good ones are good
as
well.
Yeah, I don't really care. I will do dub and sub. I don't care. It's just whatever feels like the ideal version of the show for me.
Yeah. But the characterization, the interaction, so much of it is little snatches.
Yep.
Little bit. Tiny moments, tiny seconds in between or alongside actions where I'm sure, rewatching things really does make them pop a lot more because you're free to focus on those things.
Yeah.
If you're watching this for the plot, for example, it's all about Narancia freaking out, going off on his own. But there are those moments of everybody else and how they react to the situation differently and what they're doing after writing off Narancia as having a weird freak moment of unreliability.
Yeah. There must be a scene in between this episode and the next where Narancia is just like, I fucking told you. Next time you'll fucking listen to me. Or at least pay attention better.
When they listened to him, it was bad.
Yeah.
Listen to what I mean, not what I say.
Yeah, exactly. Look, the next time I dash in front of all of you and pee in front of you, that means something bad is happening. That's Narancia's signal. It's to piss when things bad start happening. That's what Giorno should have done in the previous fight.
Yeah.
When he was doing those hand signals and Narancia just thought he was waving.
Oh, he should have arced it over the little wall.
Uh-oh.
We got to stop not hot wiring this car. Giorno needs help.
It's the piss alarm.
When you said last fight, I thought you meant the immediately preceding.
Yeah,
he should have just peed down the hole onto Crimson King.
Yeah. No, I just could not remember the name of Babyface, so. Yes, he should have also peed down the hole onto King Crimson. He would have hated that. King Crimson stopping time and seeing the predictive arc of Giorno's piss and dodging it. Anyways, that's all I got.
Next week, we're going to be back with what I assume can only be, I don't know, something climactic. I'm very excited.
Yeah, we're doing the next 3 episodes, I believe. Yeah.
That's episodes 24, 25, and 26, Notorious B.I.G., Spice Girl, and A Little Story from the Past, My Name is Doppio.
Yep.
Now, every time we've planned this ahead, someone has told me, hey, are you sure you want to do that one? and leave off there, because 2 weeks from now, we're going to be having guests. Some of the people that have asked me this have been guests. And then I'm like, I don't know. You're familiar with this. You tell me whether that would be a fun place to end or a frustrating place to end. And they're like, and every time I've been assured, oh no, this is going to end on the sort of cliffhanger that will be fun to wait through for you. So okay, I'm expecting some wild shit happening at the end of episode 26.
Yeah, I remember the cliffhanger for 26 being pretty good. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the plan. That's going to happen next week, and then the week after, we are going to have not one but 2 guests.
Ooh.
Because if we can put 2 boats in a boat, we can put 2 guests into a guest episode. That's the rules, baby.
Yep. We've learned so much from JoJo.
I can't wait to find out which one has skinned the other and warned them. I hope that doesn't really come through too much in the audio. Gotta really clean that out.
Oh yeah. Noise cancellation will totally take that out.
I hope they don't wind up looking like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle suits, where every once in a while you can see the human mouth inside.
Yeah. Just an extra set of teeth inside the mouth, yeah.
Or some of the later Planet of the Apes, where they weren't taking time to block shots to prevent that.
Yeah. But yeah, until next week. See you later.
To be continued.